Guest Norman Finkelstein. He has published 2 books this week. One, Knowing Too Much, Why the American Jewish Romance with Israel is Coming to an End. His other is What Gandhi Says About Nonviolence, Resistance, and Courage. Before we go to Gandhi, your views on a 2-state solution and the whole boycott, divestment, sanction movement.
Well, I think one of the problems is the question is often incorrectly posed. The question is not what my personal views are. Here, and we're going to return to it in a moment, I agree with Gandhi. You don't start with what your opinion is. You start with where public opinion is at. And the purpose of politics is to try to get people to act on the beliefs they already hold. So I think it's often mistaken when people ask, do you support 1 state or 2 states? As if politics were a question about what I support. Politics to me is about the maximum you can hope for in order, trying to reach justice, the maximum you can hope for in a given context. And in our given historical context now, you'd say the limit of the spectrum, the very end of the spectrum would be, say, human rights organizations. So you consider yourself a left-of-center program, Democracy Now!, and who do you have on from Egypt? A representative from Human Rights Watch, because you recognize that's the limit of the spectrum of progressive thought in the world we live. Maybe we wish it went further than Human Rights Watch, but it doesn't. And that's why you have HRW as the person to be interviewed. And so taking that...
And I would say for Democracy Now! We consider ourselves a grassroots global news hour, bringing out a
but you're trying to reach the limits of progressive opinion. And that's who I want to reach. I don't want to go beyond it because then I become a cult. I'm no longer reaching people. And the limit in the world today is what human rights organizations are saying, what the International Court of Justice is saying, what the UN General Assembly is saying, and there you have a complete consensus, apart from the United States and Israel and some South Sea islands. Apart from them, the consensus is clear. It's a 2-state settlement on the June 1967 border and a just resolution of the refugee question based on the right of return and compensation. That's the limit of opinion. Do my personal views go beyond that limit? Yes, they do. But politics is not about personal opinions. It's about trying to reach a public and getting them to act on their own sense of right and wrong. And that, to me, is the only place we can go. The problem, as I see it with the BDS movement, is not the tactic. Who could not support boycott, divestment, and sanctions? Of course you should. And most of the human rights organizations, church organizations, have moved in that direction. The problem is the goal. The official BDS movement, they claim to be agnostic, neutral, whatever term you want to use, on the question of Israel. You can't reach a broad public if you are agnostic on the question of Israel. The broad public wants to know, where do you stand? And if you claim not to have a stand, you lose them. The BDS movement, it always says, and I'm using their language, we are a rights-based organization. We are based in international law. I agree with that. That's where you have to go, rights-based international law. But the international law is clear. You read the last sentence of the 2004 International Court of Justice opinion on the wall that Israel has been building in the West Bank. And the last sentence says, we look forward to 2 states, a Palestinian state alongside Israel and at peace with its neighbors. That's the law. And if you want to go past that law or ignore the Israel part, you'll never reach a broad public. And then it's a cult. Then it's pointless, in my opinion. We're wasting time. And it's only a wasting of time. It becomes, and I know it's a strong word, and I hope I won't be faulted for it, but it becomes historically criminal. Because there was a time where whatever we said, it made no difference. Nobody was listening. You could shout whatever you want, who cares? But now, actually, we can reach people. There is a possibility. I'm not saying a certainty. I'm not even saying a probability. But there is a possibility that we can reach a broad public. And so we have to be very careful about the words we use, and we have to be very careful about the political strategy we map out. Otherwise, we're going to squander a real opportunity. And I don't want to squander it. You know, I've been at this for 30 years, and I would like to reach that rendezvous of victory. I know it's a little selfish, I know.
And that victory would look like?
The victory is what the law says. When Israel packs up its bag and leaves from where it doesn't belong. You know, last night I watched...
And that is determined by, we just have 20 seconds. That is, what would those lines be?
The lines are clear. It's the June 1967 border. Just let me say, because I know you have to... I watched last night, I went to see the 5 broken cameras. And I was very struck...
A new film now.
A new film on the Palestinian struggle of Billy Ean. At one point they said, we want the West Bank and Gaza. And afterwards I turned to a friend of mine who I went to see the film with, you know him, Phil Weiss. I said to him, Phil, what do you think the appeal of the film would be if they said they wanted the West Bank, Gaza, and Israel? And he turned to me and he said, well, of course, the filmmakers would take it out.
We're going to have to leave it there, and we will do a discussion about Gandhi after the show and post it online. Norm Finkelstein has written the book, Knowing Too Much, Why the American Jewish Romance with Israel is Coming to an End. His other book, What Gandhi Said.